Hello, my name is Sharbel Quake, and in this video we're going to take a look at a new tree library for Forester called the Forester Expansion Pack 1 Production Trees. This is a new library consisting of 51 trees for Forester. It's not just a tree library, it's rather a plugin for Forester because it provides extra functionality not previously available in the Forester package. So we're going to take a look at those functionalities and browse through the trees that the plugin provides. This is a tree created with the Forester Expansion Pack 1. The difference between this tree and the regular Forester trees will be visible whenever I zoom in over the leaves. Now here we see that the leaves are opacity mapped or alpha mapped. Special textures have been created specifically for this expansion pack, providing much more realism than the regular geometry-based leaves from the regular Forester package. Also here we notice that the leaves have different colors, and this is coming from the fact that we are using 3 different colored textures for the leaves. These are provided automatically with the expansion pack. The tree is of course a Forester tree, meaning that it's fully procedural. So the number of branches can be changed, the number of segments and sides and so forth, just like any other Forester tree. To launch the pack, you go to Plugins, and after installing it, you're gonna get a new entry in the menu called Forester 1 Expansion Pack 1. When we open that, we get the browser window with several options at our disposal. So I'm going to start off with a new scene to look at the different options that the library provides. The first option that we have is found under Creation Options, and for the creation mode we have 2 options. We have the Create New Tree and we have the Modify Selected Tree. If you want to create a new tree into the scene, all we have to do is select Create New Tree and click, and a new tree will be created for us. This happens to be a 35-meter long tree. If you wanted to have a smaller tree of the same species, it's very easy. All you have to do is go to the parameters of the tree and reduce the tree size. Another option would be to go to the trunk parameters and reduce the trunk height. Now you might notice that the tree that is represented in the viewport is different than the tree in the thumbnail, and that has to do with the viewport levels. This is an optimization factor so that the tree displays much faster in the viewport as compared to when it renders. When I do render this tree, it's gonna render with the full detail that is represented over here. If you wanted to see the tree in full detail in the viewport, all you have to do is increase the viewport levels to 3 or to 4, which is the maximum for this tree, and you're gonna see the leaves displayed with the full number of branches. This might make your viewport manipulation a bit slower, especially when you have materials added. So it's best to actually reselect the tree, either bring down the viewport levels or go to Modify Selected Tree and click back on the thumbnail, and this will reset all the parameters of the tree to the parameters stored within the thumbnail. So this is the first option that we have here under Creation Mode, the Create New Tree and Modify Selected Tree. So in case you wanted to create several trees, all you have to do is just click with the Create New Tree selected, and now you have the trees added into your scene. To modify, again, you switch to the Modify Selected Tree, and now the tree that is selected will be changed into the thumbnail that you click on. Okay, so let's delete these trees and create a new one from scratch. I'm gonna scroll down and I'm gonna choose the Geodicea tree. Now some of these tree names are made up, so you should not take the names of the trees to be scientifically accurate. Now you might notice that the thumbnails have materials and colors while the trees in the viewport don't. This is because we have a new feature in the Forester expansion pack 1, and this is the creation of materials according to the render engine that is going to be used. If we click on the drop down under render engine, we're going to see that we have different engines to select from: Cinema 4D, Octane, Arnold, Redshift, Corona, V-Ray, and Thea. These are the supported render engines for the creation of the materials. In case you are using a different render engine that is not available here, it means that you have to create the materials either manually or just stick to the Cinema 4D material and then convert that material into the render engine material of your choice. If I want to create a material for the tree, I have to use the add material to select a tree. This requires the tree to be selected so that the material can be applied. So if I have no selected trees and I click on that, I'm not going to have anything. Once I select the tree and I choose add material to select a tree, the material will be added according to the tree type. To see this better, I'm going to increase the viewport levels to 4. This will give me access to the leaves in the viewport. And if I zoom in, I'm going to see the detailed leaves that are added to this tree. Now, the tree looks very nice, but all the leaves have the same color. It would be nice if the leaves were more varied in their colors. And with the production trees expansion pack, we have the option to add up to 3 leaf materials. All we have to do for that is to increase the leaf material count, say up to 3, select the tree and click on add materials to select a tree. You would notice that new materials are added to the scene, and these are the old materials. The materials for the tree changed up here as well. If we don't want to see those materials, we can click on remove unused materials. This is the same function as remove unused materials from here. So now if we zoom in, we see that the tree has 3 different colors for the texture of the leaves. And this happens automatically. The user does not have to dig and browse for texture colors to vary the color of the leaves. We also have the option to select from one of 3 seasons: the spring, the summer, and the fall. The default is the spring, and this is the colors that we get with the spring. If I want to see the other leaf colors, all I have to do is select the tree and choose, for example, fall. Add materials to select a tree. This will create full colored leaves like so. Now let's say that this greenish color is too pale and I want to use a stronger color. All I have to do is just drag one of the other materials to replace it with. If you want to check the summer materials, I'm going to select the tree and choose Modify Selected Tree. I'll select another tree type, and this time I'm going to choose Summer and choose Add Materials to select a tree. Now the summer materials will actually give you slightly darker colors than the spring materials. So let's increase the viewport levels to 5 to see the leaves in the viewport. This will take a couple of seconds to render, and now we have summer leaves. Zooming over will give us the detail of the leaves. So as you can see, having material variation will give much more realism to the tree. If you look over here, we have the adult trees, we have young trees, and low poly trees. What's the difference between them? Now the library consists of 51 trees. But these 51 trees have three representations. They come in adult form, which is the ones you see over here, and then we have the young trees and then the low poly trees. So if you go to the Fraxinus tree in the Young tab, we're going to select this tree and choose Modify Selected Tree, and we're going to click here. What this will do is give me a younger representation of the tree, and if I go to 4 levels, I see how the tree looks like in a younger form. Another option would be the low poly trees. So if you go there and scroll down to that specific tree, I select the tree and I click on the thumbnail, and this will give me a very low poly representation of the tree. Now this low poly representation has two advantages. First of all, it renders instantly, so if I just render, I'm going to see it render instantly. And since it has a very low polygon count, it's very good when I'm scattering trees over, say, a landscape. So if I was scattering this over a landscape, I would be typically seeing this tree at this scale, like this. Scattering this tree over a large landscape will actually be very efficient because of the low polygon count of the tree. We're going to see how to do that in an upcoming video. Another advantage of the low poly tree is to test out the hyperwind animation in the viewport. So if I go to hyperwind and check the wind to be on and press play, I'm going to see the tree moving in the viewport. If I check line mode, I'm going to see a real-time preview. And then I can actually change the wind strength. And I can change the wind speed. All of these trees are regular forester trees, meaning that they are fully procedural and fully wind animatable. So in this video, we have taken a brief overview of the different features that are provided in the Forester Expansion Pack 1 production trees. In the next videos, we're going to be taking a look at the different render engines and how they integrate with the Forester Expansion Pack 1. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.